Have you ever reached a point in a relationship where you realized your worth far outweighed the emotional chaos you were experiencing? That pivotal moment when you found the strength to walk away, not out of bitterness, but out of clarity and wisdom? Let me tell you, when a woman truly understands she has lost you, it strikes her like a cold, unrelenting wave. But here's the deeper truth. It's in this very moment that your power as a high-value man becomes undeniable. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, taught us a timeless principle. Emotional detachment isn't a sign of weakness. It's a testament to inner strength. When a woman realizes you are no longer tethered to her emotionally, the true dynamics shift and the real test begins. She'll feel the pang of losing you, but it goes beyond mere longing. It's the stark realization that she has let go of a man who is whole without her, a man who doesn't need her presence to feel complete. The Stoics understood this deeply. When you cultivate self-sufficiency, live steadfastly by your principles, and find peace within yourself, you transcend the ordinary. Let's take a journey into the intricacies of her emotional world and uncover the harsh truths behind what she experiences when she realizes she's lost a man of your caliber. The initial shock, a wave of realization. This isn't just a fleeting sense of regret. It's an overwhelming tidal wave of awareness that consumes her. Imagine this. For months, even years, you were a constant in her life, a man with purpose, integrity, and strength. You didn't chase her approval, nor did you depend on her validation. And when you finally stepped away, something profound within her stirred, a part of her she hadn't recognized before. It's in that silence, when you no longer call, no longer text, no longer seek her presence, that the shock begins to set in. Biologically, women are wired to seek safety and security. But it's not just physical protection they crave. They yearn for emotional grounding, for the presence of a man who is unwavering and resolute. By stepping back and detaching, you create a vacuum, an absence so stark that it cannot be ignored. You've removed your emotional value from the equation, and now she must face the undeniable truth. You are not as easily replaced as she once assumed. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who wronged you." This philosophy applies perfectly here. Maintaining your dignity and emotional composure isn't about vengeance. It's about demonstrating that your worth isn't dictated by her actions or decisions. Your withdrawal sends a clear message. Your emotions are not a puppet for her whims. This realization is more than just missing you. It's her confronting the fact that you have the strength to walk away without looking back. The sting of regret and self-reflection. After the initial shock, a more profound phase begins. Regret intertwined with deep introspection. She starts to replay the past, dissecting every interaction, every word exchanged, and every decision made. It's as though her mind hits rewind on your relationship, searching for the exact moment when things began to unravel. Why didn't I see it sooner? She'll ask herself. Women are naturally analytical, especially when faced with the loss of something valuable. When you remove yourself from her life, her mind shifts into overdrive, combing through every detail in an attempt to understand what went wrong. The Stoics had profound insight into this human tendency. Marcus Aurelius once observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." As she reflects, her thoughts become consumed with the realization that she may have taken you for granted, undervalued your presence, or allowed her ego to overshadow her actions. Weeks might pass, or even months, but this regret doesn't fade. Instead, it deepens as she recognizes the magnitude of what she has lost. Here's a painful truth about human nature. We often realize the value of something only in its absence. And while this regret grows within her, you, as a high-value man, have already moved forward. Your life is no longer defined by her approval or your past relationship. You've embraced the present, focusing on your goals and principles, leaving her to grapple with the void you left behind, the desperate desire to reconnect. Once regret takes root, the next wave crashes in, an intense, almost primal urge to rekindle what was lost. This isn't a casual longing. It's an all-encompassing need to reestablish the connection she now realizes was invaluable. She might reach out subtly at first, a casual message, a comment on social media, or an indirect attempt to catch your attention. But don't be deceived. These gestures aren't harmless curiosity. They are calculated moves driven by the biology of attraction. Women are instinctively drawn to regain what they feel slipping away. When you remain steadfast and unaffected by her efforts, it only amplifies her drive to win you back. Here's where your composure becomes your ultimate strength. By refusing to fall into old patterns or be swayed by fleeting emotions, you cement your position as a man of unshakable value. Your detachment isn't a game. It's a reflection of your self-respect. But let's make one thing clear. This isn't about manipulation or playing hard to get. It's about standing firm in your principles and refusing to compromise your worth. You've evolved past the need for external validation, and that's precisely what makes you so magnetic. What makes these echoes so haunting is their ability to resurface at the most unexpected times. Imagine her walking through a park where you once spent an afternoon together. The sound of laughter in the distance might remind her of the jokes you shared, or perhaps she stumbles upon a restaurant you frequented together, and suddenly, the taste of her favorite dish brings back the warmth of your conversations. And here's where the true pain lies. She knows she can't recreate these moments. No matter how much she might try, the dynamic you shared, the unique bond you cultivated is gone. These memories aren't just reflections of the past. They're reminders of what could have been, if only things had been different. There's an old saying that time heals all wounds, but this isn't entirely true. While time might soften the edges of certain memories, it also has a way of deepening others. For her, the memories of you don't simply fade. They become more vivid as she begins to truly understand what she let slip away. It's not just the big, monumental moments that haunt her. It's the small, seemingly insignificant ones. The way you looked at her during quiet evenings, the inside jokes only the two of you shared, the way you always seemed to know what she needed without her having to ask. These are the details that stay with her long after everything else has faded. And then there's the realization that these memories are a one-way street. While she's consumed by thoughts of the past, you've moved on. You're no longer tethered to what was, no longer held back by the weight of regret or longing. This contrast only deepens her sense of loss, as she comes to terms with the fact that the memories she clings to are hers alone. But here's the twist. These memories aren't just about you. They also force her to confront herself, her actions, her choices, and the role she played in the end of your relationship. Every time a memory resurfaces, it brings with it a question. What could I have done differently? This introspection can be both a blessing and a curse. While it might lead to growth and self-awareness, it also keeps her trapped in a cycle of what-ifs and if-onlys. The Stoics understood this human tendency to dwell on the past. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." For her, these memories are a reminder of a time when she had something extraordinary but failed to fully recognize its value. For you, they are a testament to the strength you've cultivated in moving forward, unburdened by what you cannot change. And this is where your power lies. While she's caught in the echo of what was, you're firmly grounded in the present, focused on building a future that aligns with your principles and aspirations. This doesn't mean you're indifferent to the past. It means you've learned from it and used those lessons to grow. The haunting echo of memories isn't just a reflection of her loss. It's a testament to the man you've become. A man who values himself enough to walk away from what no longer serves him. A man who refuses to be defined by the past, but instead uses it as fuel for his journey forward. And while she may never fully move past the memories, you've embraced the wisdom they've imparted. You understand that the past is a teacher, not a destination. You've taken its lessons to heart, and in doing so, you've set yourself apart, not just in her eyes, but in the eyes of everyone who recognizes your strength and resilience. In the end, the memories she holds are as much a reflection of you as they are of her. They are a reminder of the connection you shared, the man you were, and the man you've become. And as they continue to echo in her mind, they serve as a constant testament to the power of self-respect, emotional strength, and the unwavering resolve of a high-value man. Your worth isn't measured by a recognition. It's defined by the man you've become. Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics. Lead with strength and clarity, and let the world see the unstoppable force you are. If you're ready to embody the mindset of a high-value man and live with unshakable purpose, leave a comment saying, "Challenge accepted." Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more transformative insights. Your journey to greatness starts now.